That is not helpful. That is not doing what I was expecting it to. Um, that is why. Why is this not working? There we go. Few technical difficulties to start us off, but that's not the end of the world. Hello, everybody. Annyeong. Welcome to Soul Searching with James Live. Today, well, I started a bit late. Call me the One Show. For any Linus Tech Tips fans out there. Yeah, it was. I was later starting at the gym than I'd have liked to. I am back though. Got slightly caught in the rain, which is why my hair is a bit damp. But you know, I'm here, and it's time to make some flashcards. Before I do that though, time for some tea. I'm sure throughout my live streaming you will see a collection of mugs. Most of them are free things that I have picked up over time. So this one is from when I used to work for a company called Colas Rail. And I think I got this when I first started or something like that. It was like, oh, welcome, here's some stickers and a notepad and everything. Speaking of notepads, I need to get myself a notepad. Like a nice little notepad for Ian. Just like an exercise book type thing that you'd get at school, so I can start, use doing exercises rather than just saying stuff. Oh, I forgot to switch on my light. And switch off another light. I will be back in just a second. You will hear some strange noises, I'm sure. I need to be a lot smoother with my live streams. I also need to try and get the short live streams working. The most recent times I've tried, first time I tried it worked fine. I was able to do a regular stream and a short stream together. Where's my phone? I leave my phone downstairs. I hope I didn't, but I should probably look for that. This is off to a great start. No shorts working. No phone. Forgetting to turn the lights off. One thing I do have though, and that is the green bottle. For those of you who have watched enough Korean dramas or have been to Korea, know exactly what this is. I've got peach flavor. So I'm going to actually have some of this tonight as a bit of a well done for doing okay at the gym. This is a lot more expensive than the stuff you can get over there. For those of you that don't know, I will get that off screen. That is soju, so that is a very common sort of liqueur, spirit liqueur, depending on your definitions and what you get. Soju, let's have a little look, shall we, actually? Before I go and find my phone. So, soju, clear and colorless distilled alcoholic beverage traditionally made from rice. However, has been made from other things as well. The flavor similar to vodka, so not a lot of flavor at all. So yeah, it's spirit. However, the stuff you get in the green bottles is often a lower percentage than some of the nice, pretty stuff you can get. When I went to Korea, I brought back one that was like 30%. That one was very nice, but it was just a clear thing. Whereas the little green bottles were only about, so this one is 13, so it's about as strong as wine. Yeah, I'm just going to go and grab my phone. It's going to be in my pocket, isn't it? It is not. I'm going to find my phone and see and make sure I've got it on me. I'll be back in just a second, everybody. And we are back. That was some unwanted excitement. Turns out I'd left my phone in the car because I was too worried about the rain outside. It is currently raining. Hopefully my mic doesn't pick up on the rain, but it's quite loud. I can hear it. Yeah, it's quite loud. So I got somebody else to go and sort it out for me. I am just getting up the... There we go. This is what I wanted. So, my plan today is to make some flashcards with the Hangul, the English meaning, and the romanization of it for pronunciation purposes. As time goes on, I'll remove the romanization and try to get that sort of... try to be able to identify words. Not only try to identify words, but try to identify sort of words as part of a sentence and know the meaning of them. So what I've got here is a this is website 90daykorean.com. This is 100 plus basic vocabulary for beginners. And I've got this because it's a nice little list that actually has some example sentences as well, which I might be able to include further down the line. But it's got the Hangul, the actual word written in Hangul. It's got the romanization and the meaning in English. Most other things only had sort of 2 out of those 3. And the fact it's got an example sentence is also great. So I'm looking down. It is very basic stuff. It's left and right and person and yes and no. We've got these here, sort of date, like parts of the day, when and why. Phrases like your basic phrases. Things to do with water, with food and drink as well. So anyway, you can keep on scrolling down on this, and I'm actually just going to put this in chat. There we go. So that is the list that I'm using, and what I'm going to be doing with these. This is going to sit off to the side because luckily most things are optimized for mobile nowadays, so we can actually have mobile. Like I can squish up the screen quite a bit. So I've got it next to my my OBS, and I am actually then using this that we've got here. So this is Anki. It is an open source software. You can download it for all sorts of platforms. Apple, Android. There's official apps for that. You can download it onto your PC, and you can actually make sort of 2-sided flashcards. So I actually took the first 9 words on here just to give it a little bit of a try to make sure it actually worked. Basically, this is making your own Duolingo to an extent. So I've got my deck here. So that's my deck of cards, Korean pronunciation. I've added in 9 new ones. These are some stats about it if I wanted to do that. I can also import a file, so I can download. So you can download ones that other people have made. There's a big long there's a big database of it. Check database. See if I can find it. Basically, there's a bunch of documentation and a bunch of people who have already made decks for this, particularly for language learning, and especially some of the languages like Japanese, Chinese, Korean. None of them quite did what I wanted at this point. They either just had the say they only had 2 out of the 3 of the things that this list gives. So in a lot of cases it just had the Korean in Hangul and then the English meaning, or it was like full sentences. And I'm not quite there yet. So these are the ones I've made so far. So if I study now, and then if I just reduce that down a bit. The intent of this is a little bit to be sort of portable. So me using it on a big screen like this actually isn't great. But what I do have is I have the app for this, and I just need to get it from here into Google Drive and then download it from the Google Drive to be able to use it on my phone. But I'll do that once I've actually come up with a few things. So this, so I've got this thing here. There's probably a way I can make it bigger, if I'm honest. Let's see if I can play. This is more me going into the settings of it, but you can see like there's so many settings that you can make it properly tough on yourself if you wanted. You can sort of, depending on the day you're doing it, you can have easy days, regular days. So if you're doing this every day, but you want sort of your Saturday, Sunday ones, you want something you can do in just a few minutes just to keep it ticking over, you can move these right down. This is actually really good. Once I've got into it a bit more, I'll be able to oh, what is that? It is the algorithm that it uses. Like you can change how it displays. I think you can change how it actually shows up when you're making the cards. So I'm just going to but for now I will actually just zoom in massively. And I've just hidden my face there for a bit. Ooh, spooky. That's a bit better. Yep, so for this, I've got the Hangul here. This one, trying not to look, actually, I'm just going to minimize the thing. So this one, that is, that's not how you do ch, because ch in this sort of font would have a little dash on it. So it's j, jib. So show answer. Yep, so what I've done is then, as the answer, I've put the romanization, jib, and then the meaning, house. So even if I don't know what it means now, as time goes on, I can, I'll remove this, and I could just have the word house on it. Um, um, I'm still getting to grips with it. So there's like some buttons at the bottom. So again, I think that's the sort of like as you can repeat the cards as you go. There's a lot of really sort of interesting stuff you can do with this. I'm not quite there yet with it. I might actually see in a second how some of these the other decks look. So for this one, you've got oh, that's Hua 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 Huajang Huajang Su Huajang Sil Huajang Sil bathroom. Yeah. So there we go. So I got it right. I'll do the vice versa ones as well in the opposite. But I'll probably do that more for like when I'm actually writing things down, so I'll be able to show the what the pronunciation is, and then write the Hangul from that. So that's another idea. So this one we've got Nara, meaning country. Some of these I will have encountered while I was doing the Let's Learn Hangul course. So we got Cheek, Jikyo, Jikyo. We've got Salam, Salam meaning person. Good. And you can see on the bottom of the screen here, you've actually got little stats to sort of show how you're doing with it, which I think is pretty good. So we've got Oi, Oen, Oensa. Is that one of the rules? That was the other thing that I wanted to do, is have a notepad to be able to write down the rules. No, that wasn't one of the rules, I don't believe. So we got Wensuk. Oh, Juk. Yeah, because it's got the line of that. I think I need to change the font on these and make it a bit bigger, because that is very difficult to see. Then we've got Owe, Oleg, or Lon, Lon, Olon, Jock, Olon, Jock, Olun, Jock. Yeah, is that but then they've used the same line there, so it's like an oh. oranjok. Then this one is what is that? That's it. Or like or I think. Just gonna have to show the answer. Oh, it's eh. And that was yeah. That's the elongated, yeah. It's like they do with the gar. Good. And then we've got Annie Annyeong, meaning no. And then this is that was back to the start again. So that's an idea of it. So you can sort of make your own sort of exercises, get your own sort of database of words there. So I'm actually going to go back. Not options. There we go. So in order to actually make these, it's quite intuitive. Hang on. I'm going to have to fix this later. Yay. I just make it full screen again and then fix it in a minute. Bear with me. This is me being an idiot. And you get to take little sneaky peeks into my world. I make those smaller. That is not the one I wanted. That's the one I wanted. And then that goes big like that, I guess. I mean, the easy thing to do would have been to, just capture the window, wouldn't it? That would make it too easy. So I'm just going to do the next bunch of flashcards from the website that I've got. But first, have some peach. And the caps, like they do this little flick with the rings, and you there's a game that you can play where you sort of flick off the thing, and whoever actually gets it off has to partake. So I'm going to just. I really should have bought something that doesn't make me look not great with this. However, bottoms up. Ooh, great art. It's very like artificial tasting. That it's not good quality. But however, it is a nice little sugary treat. And I will probably do actually a little video on Korean things you can get at my local Tesco. Right. So I was considering actually just buying all of the ramyun that they had there. So they had the classic Shin ramyun, they had the buldak, the carbonara one. They had just like a hot chicken one. They had soju. The thing is, there's not a huge selection of it. A lot of the stuff that they have is like it's all in like the world foods aisle. Like they've got an area for East and Southeast Asia, which is better than a lot of places. A lot of places wouldn't even have half of that, but it's a proper mix. So you've got Thai things alongside Japanese things alongside the Korean things. So I might just have to go and buy it all and make a video. Speaking of videos, I need to make one this week. I am going to actually do a little short on what I've been watching and listening to. So look forward to that, and hopefully it will get some people in to join me on this journey. So some of these I've already done. So the next one we've got the word uli, which is we. So we got romanization. We've got the meaning. I'm going to just copy that, because that will be in all of the ones, the next things. I mean, do I actually need that? I don't think I do, actually. That probably saved me a lot more time, because it means I can copy and paste the Korean from here. So this is when I'm going to need to... Yeah, you can sort of make changes and add various things. We got the there's surely got to be a way I can do it. I mean, it's one of these. It's an open source project, so I'm not expecting it to be absolutely perfect. The people who've contributed to this have obviously worked very hard on it. I just need it to be a little bit more customizable for my bits, which I can probably do. However, I am not learning whatever this is coded in to do that, or the CSS for styles or anything like that. So we've got Yuri, which means we, and you can just add that. It's as simple as that. It's not difficult at all. The next one we've got is on onu. And meaning today. And then we've got this. So yeah, onu. I think it's because this is in not English. I imagine it's not necessarily the easiest to change. There's probably not as many font families like baked into this. They don't actually have a Korean translation as of yet. Maybe that's something I can work towards, if somebody doesn't already beat me to it. Next one we've got is oje, meaning tomorrow. Oh, that's what I could hear. There was like a noise in the background. There was a noise in the background I could hear. It's because on this website I've also got... That was it. There we go. Yeah, I've also got like noise things here. I can probably add that to these. There's probably a way to do it. Add. Let's do that. But I didn't have my settings right, so it was coming out of my computer speakers. not my headphones that I have on. So hopefully that's better. So now only I can hear it, and if I wanted to, hang on.
내일,
That was probably extremely loud. I do apologize if anybody heard that. However, I tend not to use desktop audio as a rule. Hang on.
내일,
There we go. That might be all right.
어제,
There we go. So yeah, so I'm here. I can listen to it. As I say, ideally, I will be able to add these in. There's probably a way. So I've got at the moment there's fields for basic. I can get multi-sided. Oh, we can like type in the answer. Optional reverse cut. There's other things I can do with this. It might just have to be something that I look into a bit more. But I also don't want to do that. Because that takes away from valuable Korean learning time. Speaking of which, so while I was at the gym, I actually found a podcast that's about Korean history. That is all in the Korean language, which is excellent for my purposes, because that's something that I can easily look up myself. It's something that is very clear about the subject matter. Did I understand any of it? Not at all. But that's not the point. Point is that I can listen to it, and it's something that I'll be able to listen to not only as a series, but as a thing I can repeat as time goes on. Right, so I've got this one. So I did Ujja tomorrow. Ujja is actually yesterday. I need to change that. So Onnur is today. Ujja is yesterday. So I can go back and change things as well. It's very easy to use. You can also sort of edit, flags and various things to here. It can get quite in depth, which can be scary for people. But as I say, if you really wanted to, you can just load stuff that somebody else has done, which I will actually do once I finish this list. So just done Oje, which is yesterday. And this one we'll do yeah, just put it. So it's nail, which is tomorrow. Got meaning night, evening. I mean, that word is similar to the Japanese ban for night. So you're like your or evening, like your good evening is konbanwa. So, and then we got the opposite to that. Got achim, morning, and the so actually putting them in once you've got like a flow going is very, very easy. I actually might do a little tutorial on this for not only importing but also making your own. Attach pictures. You can also actually record audio and put in equations. Okay, that's really cool. Yes, there are various things you can do to make things look nicer. Apart from change the font, apparently. Don't know if that's something that's just not in here, or if they expect you to do it in HTML. So we've just done Achim for morning. Then we've got the last two of this block. So we've got way, which is Y. You actually might hear that quite a bit in K-dramas. There's like an exclamation like, way. Like, why are you doing that? And then we've got the and then the last one we've got is unje. Which is when. Unje? Yeah, unje. And I think if I can add the voice clips in, that would be excellent, actually. Because then it means I can double check my pronunciation as well. So unje, when. And add. So I'm just going to close that. So it is just as easy as that. So I've just done 8 new ones. I can click study now, and it goes through all of the ones. It's been more than 10 minutes since I've done these, so it will go over them again. If I'd have put them as easy, like there's these bits at the bottom, if the shorts are working, you won't be able to see. It's just off the bottom of the screen. That actually gives it like a 3-day lockout. So if there's one that you're just like, yep, I know this, not a problem, you can say that, oh yeah, it's really easy. And you can just crack on. You don't have to, like, if you're going through it like multiple times, like they'll skip the ones that you're like, yeah, you're fine on that one. So I'm actually just going to skip forward. Uri. I just skipped the first one. So Uri, we got Onud. Then we've got that was need to Oje yesterday. Then we've got Nail. Pam. Chim. Got Oe. Oh yeah, because that's a compound one. Yeah. Oe. And that one is O. Unje. Yeah, unje. When. Good. Brings us back to the start. I am now actually going to load in one. So here's the website. So you can go onto apps.ankiweb.net. So it's just a flashcard program, but a lot of people use it for languages. I think languages are the main one. You can use it as a study guide as well, as a study thing as well. At the top, you've got shared decks. It brings you up to just a repository of everything you need. It's a bunch of languages. It's also got art, science, and trivia if you just wanted to look through things. These are like quite broad categories. If I did want just something with trivia, I can just, I can pick trivia. And these can get rated by whoever. It's not something that's necessarily widely used, so ratings are whatever. Just as an example, and it just gives you sort of examples as well. So this was from 200,000 plus Jeopardy and questions and answers. And I imagine this actually is like formatted to look a bit like Jeopardy as well. Fusilli, a pasta, is often described as being the shape like the tool that opens your wine bottles. That is corkscrew. And you can just download that and you're all good, and then you can upvote it if you, or thumbs up, thumbs down if you want. However, if I go back to Korean, we've actually got quite a few here. So we've got Korean grammar sentences. So I'm just going to, and it's like they've put a big description here. It's levels, introduces the Korean language, a basic sentence structure, contains simple past and present tenses, and everything. These level 6 and 7 sort of get a bit further on, and it's still being worked on by the looks of it. This actually does contain the audio. So, as an example here, you've got. Let's do this live. So we've got. Gurol. Liga. Then that's one of the rules. We got op. So yo. And then if I play the audio, I'll actually mute. So 그 그러리가 없어요. So I actually got that right. Speed thing then at that point. This might actually be. Yes, this is going through like the difficulty, so you can put tags next to things as well. I actually download this. I might actually download the. Actually, I might download this one as well. So we've got. Oh no, that's only the 40, so that's just going to be a similar thing to Let's Learn Hangul. And then let's do this one. So this is Taught to Me in Korean's first 500 Korean words. This also has audio, or it's pictures. I'm going to just download that one. And then once that's downloaded, I will just load one of them in. So with this, I can import. Let's do the 500 Korean words. I'm just going to import everything. And it takes a little bit. But 500 new notes imported. If I go back to Dex, I can go sort of work my way through 500 words. So if I study now, so for that one, so it's just giving me na, cho, it's polite, and it's giving me an option to have the audio, and then it's giving me the English there. As I say, for now I would like to have the romanization there as well. But that's more nitpicky. I actually think I'd be able to just go in and add these. But then that's that's relying on my own knowledge. It might be a good exercise to just go through and put the romanization in, but then I've got to take it all out again. So we'll see. We'll see how it goes on that. So if I just go good. Also, I think in some of this it's coming from some. It might be coming from people who speak Chinese as their first language, so they're also putting the Chinese next to it. Either that, or it shows where the Chinese has sort of been borrowed, like Korean and Chinese is quite linked together in some ways in terms of the words that are actually used. So that might just be the equivalent, like where they got it from in Chinese. I'm not 100% sure. So that one is 회사 회사을 회사월 회사월 what one? Because that's the name. 회사원. 회사원. So yeah, so that's an example of the sort of the more in-depth ones that you can do. If I go back to Dex, and actually you can put these into various different groups and everything as well. So if I actually import again, if I do the Korean sentences, this one was quite a large one, so it'd take a while. Yeah, I mean it's the sort of thing you can go have and explore with, really. But so many here, and nearly 2,500 notes there. So I've got my Korean pronunciation one there that has a grand total of 17. You've got the 500 words there, and then you've also got Korean grammar sentences. So first study, I did hear that one, and I actually know what this means. So I'm going to play it again. And play it again a bit louder.
안녕하세요.
So that one is 안녕하세요, which is the formal greeting for hello. So yeah, so we've got 안녕, 하세요. Show answer. 안녕하세요. Oh, here they've even got additional information. So I think you can add like extras to this. So off to the just to the side here. There we go. You've got some additional information, which is nice. This I hope will end up being very useful. As I say, I think right now my plan is to make a lot more of these. I'll probably do it offline. To make a lot more of these with my sort of specifications in mind, just to get me used to seeing and pronouncing the Korean correctly. So I want to be able to look at that, and rather than sort of piecing each syllable together, Annyeong, I want to be able to look at that and maybe not necessarily, natively quick, but be able to at least look at each one and be able to, in a fraction of a second, go Annyeong, that's the sort of level that I'm looking for right now. So I will probably do a little. I think when I get a notebook, I'll do a little stream. I am actually. Oh, let's just change things again. I am probably actually going to call it a night there. It is 10 o'clock here. And I've made a start on this, sort of shown it off. Means I can sort of go back to it later. There we go. So in terms of videos, I am going to do a short for what I've been watching and what I've been listening to, which will be the Netflix show I'm currently watching and the podcast I was listening to while I go to the gym. I probably won't be doing anything more this week in terms of lives. At the weekend, I'm actually judging a Lorcana event, a Disney Lorcana event. For those of you that know your card games, it is, you'll know what that is. For those of you that don't, it is the Disney trading card game. It's been out a little while now. I am one of the people who decides to judge it. There's some of your Lorcana cards. You got this one. Oh, I don't know if the blur is taking that out, but got Be Our Guest there as an example of a card for this game. Yes, that's going to be good fun, but obviously those sort of events tend to be very long hours. It's 7 a.m. starts, 8 a.m. to actually, report, and then you're there until whatever time you're needed. And I've actually got those. I've got at least one event on for the next 4 weekends, which is going to be rough. So I've got Lorcana 2 out of the 4 weekends, and then the other 2 are taken up with the Yu-Gi-Oh card game, which I also judge because I am a glutton for punishment. Apparently, I love it really. I get to travel a lot, and it's great. But it does mean that sometimes everything else ends up taking a bit of a backseat. That's why things like these flashcards are so important, to be able to take these on the go. And I can put it on my phone, so when I'm having a half an hour break, I can just sort of flick through. Or the podcasts and stuff like that, I can just put my headphones on and just listen, even if I don't understand what's going on. It's nice. Yeah, so we're doing a short soon. I might just film that tonight, just as a quick thing. I don't know whether to wear this on the shorts. We shall see. But before I go, one last little drink. I'm going to enjoy that. another time. That is going away in my cupboard. Yeah, it has been a pleasure. Not probably done as much learning today, but it's more about sort of the setting up the tools, which is just as important. If I am doing this long term, you need to have a good setup. You need to be able to rely on that setup for continuous learning. This is going to be, hopefully, unless I can find something better, this will likely be the foundation of the outside of the immersion learning. So this will be what I use between this and like dictionaries, and quite other small bits of resources. They'll be the supplement. So I'll be listening to all this stuff, consuming all this content, and then this will be where I sort of really solidify that into properly learning a language. Yeah, it has been great for this session. A bit of a shorter one than last time. That was a longer one. Sort of an hour, even just like an hour. If I do an hour in a day, that's great. If I stream an hour during my week, if not more, that's at least. This has given me sort of weekly progressions between this. I'm also planning on doing the weekly short. So the weekly short will be what I'm watching and listening to. The weekly stream will be studying, getting tools ready, and then I'll also do bigger videos. I'm aiming for every sort of 2 weeks, but we are coming up to Christmas, and as I say, my next few weekends are busy, to say the least. Add that on to just normal life stuff. I've actually got a wedding to go to next week, as well as my travel for the Yu-Gi-Oh event next weekend. Not this weekend, the weekend after. I've got to travel quite a way. I've got to travel to Italy for that. So with all that, it's it's a lot. So my videos will probably just come as and when. Especially as I'm sort of trying to fit how I like learn my craft, learn how I'm going to actually be doing this long term. I'm really enjoying it so far, even if it's to the void. Just talking things through just gives me that sort of that drive to push on with my learning, with the content. Hopefully that content will inspire people as well. That's the aim. With that, I'm going to call it a night there. Thank you very much for watching if you have been, and thank you for tuning in after the fact if you are watching the VOD. I also do need to investigate multi-streaming again. Last time I tried it, half the frames dropped, so I don't know if that's a Twitch thing or if it's because I was trying to do it over 2 platforms thing. We'll see. Yeah, thank you very much for watching. I will see you next time, everybody. Goodbye.